Welcome to the 2024 Community Awards. The Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce is so excited to be hosting this event, and this event is super important because we have an amazing community here in Lake Oswego, and we need to honor those individuals and those businesses that we know are a huge part of making this community what it is today. So we're here to honor each and every one of them. So let's give a round of applause real quick. My name is Heather Graves Ramsey, and I have the honor of being this year's Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce Board President. And you're getting me off cute, but I do love it. It has been an amazing year. And the last few years on this board, looking behind the curtain at everything that goes on with the chamber, there are so many passionate people, dedicated, strategic, fully all in on this community. And I can't tell you how they help us to meet our vision and our mission as a Chamber of Commerce. So Chamber of Commerce, our mission is to really connect, to advocate for, to educate, and to champion our businesses. And why? Because our businesses are what helps us to have the environment that we need in order to be able to be the place where people want to work, to play, and stay. And this chamber is amazing. Some people ask me, like, what does the chamber do? That's been like a main question. What does the chamber do? And I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, over the last even just 3 months, this chamber, I'm going to have to look at my notes because there's so much that we've done. Okay, so this chamber, not only have we revitalized the Hop at the Hunt, a huge tradition here in Lake Oswego that we didn't want to let go. I know. We did a human trafficking panel with people from national as well as local agencies to help us understand what's going on, what we can do, what to look for, and where to go. We've done a candidate forum for the recent election that came out. We wanted people to be informed about who they're voting for. And we also put forward, here's some people that we think are going to be really great for Lake Oswego businesses. We have done 12, now this is just in the last 3 months, I just want to remind you. We've done 12 networking events, bringing 55 to 70 people to individual businesses every Friday, making sure that people know these businesses on a real, genuine level. We've also done a new business welcome. We do that with the city to make sure new businesses that get their license here in Lake Oswego, they feel welcomed, number one. But number two, they know the resources that they have so they can be successful. We've done a Future of LO with our city manager, Martha Bennett, one of my favorite people. We've also started our hanging of the flower baskets. Over 200 flower baskets go into, I know, making the city beautiful. And so Julia Fowler, she is our amazing head of that committee and making that happen. Absolutely. So we've been hanging those, started the fundraising. The city helps us with some of that fundraising, but we do need to do a lot more because it costs a lot to make that happen. We have done, again, in 3 months, 6 leadership programs through both our Leadership LO program, but also the one that we launched this year with the Business Leadership Program. I know, it's awesome. And, just this Oregon Wine Walk, maybe bringing 400 people walking on Boone's Ferry Road. It was the most beautiful, it makes me cry thinking about it. It was the most beautiful thing. It was this wonderful day of community coming together, enjoying each other. Marcia Keys was our sponsor for that. We thank her so much. That wine walk, there were 20 different pouring spots. That means 20 different businesses that people are getting to know. 400 folks roaming around, just amazing. That was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And now today we are here at the Community Awards. So what does the chamber do? We connect, we advocate, we educate, and we champion our businesses for sure. And I just want to say we can't do that without the amazing staff that we have at the chamber. And I just want to give them a shout out. I know they love it when we do this, but they are amazing. Liz Hartman, Jen Peterson, Matt Evans, and I don't know if I see Joyce Panda, no, and Laquita Corbett, but we got to give them a round of applause because they are amazing. Now, another question that I've gotten since I have, been doing the work that I'm doing on the board is, why do you do the Community Awards? So I'm going to give you 100 reasons. I know we're going to be here all night. It's going to be great. But I'm going to start with some. So if you are on the Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce board, could you please stand up? I'm going to ask, I know you're going to hate me, but I'm going to ask you to keep standing. I know you want to stay. You're going to keep standing. Believe me, you got some time to sit, so you're going to be happy about that. All right. So what I'd also like to know is if you are on a committee or if you volunteer with the chamber, if you could please stand up. I would also love to see those folks who are kind of in our community that are doing things behind the scenes, our first responders and teachers. If you're in that category, could you please stand up? Stay standing. I know. Believe me, you're gonna appreciate this. If you are involved with a board, you're on a board for a nonprofit that serves our community, could you please stand up? That's our Rotary. Yes. And if you volunteer on any of those committees, if you are for any of those organizations, whether it's the school, whether it's your place of worship, whether it's a nonprofit, could you also please stand up? I know, you gotta stand up, Dr. Shealy. You are involved in everything, for goodness sake. Okay. So when people ask me why we do community, this is exactly why. Because it takes a community. It takes everybody bringing their hands, putting them in there, and just getting the work done. So I just want to thank you all for that and what you're doing already. Now, one of the wonderful things that I would love to encourage is for those of you that are involved in doing your thing, we love that and appreciate that. And I just know that you're reaching out to others and sharing that joy, because I know when I look at my calendar and I see the things that I'm volunteering in, that brings me life, because that feeling connected and belonging and all those things. Keep on asking others to join in, because I feel like other people, they may not know how. And so we're just going to give them that invitation. So love that. So there's time, there's talent. Those are two things that make community. But there's also treasure. I know. We need to have money to make these things happen. And money comes from our sponsorships. For the Chamber, we are blessed to have so many businesses that sponsor the events that we do, that make it so that we can do what we do today. Today we have 3 sponsors. We have our title sponsor, Umpqua Bank. If those folks could please stand up. Where's our Umpqua people? I know there's a bunch of Umpqua people here. We also have, as our gold sponsors, Buckley Law. If you could stand up. And our silver sponsors are also on our board, Deamore Law Group. If you could please stand up. So we'd love to have Umpqua Bank. Thank you for sponsoring. Again, this is over 15 years of sponsoring the community awards. That is awesome. And Matt is going to come up and talk to us. Matt is everywhere. I do want you to come. Matt is at the bank. He is at the Rotary. He is at the Chamber. He just rolled off the Chamber board, did 2 terms, was our treasurer, and we can't thank him enough. So,
okay. So I don't know how to follow that up. What energy, and it is true. I'll maybe start with the end of my speech, but Liz in the group just does a wonderful job. And, well, you know what? I'll say it at the end. I'll keep it with what I'm going to do. So welcome, everyone. It's so good to see everybody. I don't get out as much as I have, but I have a commitment to do that soon. And it's just great to see everybody's faces and the smiling faces. So as Christopher said, my name is Matt Chrisman, and I manage the Umpqua Bank over, well, I say it's in the Home Depot parking lot. How's that? Right off of Carmen Drive. I don't know if you're familiar with when you drive down I-5. And so it's been a good journey. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a transition. I do have some colleagues here today that I wanted to introduce. So Kim Hansaker. Kim, stand up. She's the regional manager for our group. And I'm going to get this right, Elena. Elena Sarika. And Elena is actually, if you're the downtown ranch right here of Umpqua Bank on 2nd and B, Elena's the manager there. And then, of course, everybody knows Charlie. Stand up, Charlie. So, we have sponsored this event for a long time. And I think one of the things it does is it really shows our commitment to the community. And it shows that we're really wanting to build lasting relationships in the city of Lake Oswego. It's very important to us. Let me turn the page here. But, that's enough about me and the bank right now. We're here to celebrate leaders, people that have done wonderful things in the city of Lake Oswego. And I want to congratulate all the winners tonight. And I want to thank you for making this place a wonderful place to both live and work, and also for creating future leaders, because you're doing that, and that's wonderful, and we need that. Just a bit about Umpqua Bank. We are headquartered in Tacoma, Washington, and we are now all over the western United States, so I'm not going to name every state that we're in now. But, we're a year into the merger, and things have gone well, things have smoothed out, and what we found as bankers is what we have now are a number of new resources that we can use to help our clients, which is wonderful. And what that does is it really supports our mission of building lasting relationships in the communities that we serve. So I'm very happy about that. And as we know, most banks have the same products and services, so it's really about that relationship, building that relationship. So if there is anything I can do for you, please let me know. And last, I wanted to talk about what I love about the bank, and it's our community commitment, what we do in the communities. We do sponsorships like this. We're out in the communities volunteering. We actually just got done with our month of community service in April, where we get out into the communities. One of the projects I did was going to the Portland Rescue Mission and serving breakfast. And then, of course, we do our Warm Hearts at the end of the year, where each of our departments in the bank raises money. And in 2023, we raised over $300,000, which went right back into the communities that we serve. So all that money went right back into the community. So just to close it out, again, thank you for coming tonight. Like I said, it's wonderful to see everybody. Liz, your group does a wonderful job of putting this event on. You do a great job of leading the chamber. So if you're not a member, I encourage you to become a member of the chamber. Thank you.
Lasting relationships. Great segue, because Matt does a great job of that. But every year, I get to put out the first award. I know this is very scary because I'm afraid I'm going to drop it, but I'm not. I'm not going to do that. But every year, we, at the chamber, we nominate one person. So all of the membership gets to vote, and they vote on one person that they think is the networker of the year. Now, networker, I know people think networker is a bad word, but it's not, because networker means somebody who builds relationships. We have 3 criteria for this award. 1, they have to actively attend events. 2, they have to intentionally connect people and businesses. And 3, they have to want to learn about people so that they can actually make smart referrals. We do like that. So those are the 3 criteria. All of our chamber membership is invited to vote. And this year, we are so excited because Christopher Boyer is our networker of the year. I know. Now, he's like the epitome of a networker. I know, this is so cool. But past participants past people who have had Networker of the Year: Tina Coulson, Penelope Fain, Julia Fowler, Tisha Simmons, and Clint Redding are all people that have had that in the past. And we are just excited because Christopher this year has earned it, as the other ones have. So he has facilitated 40 networking events. 40 Friday networking events. I know. That's just in 2023. He's also had coffee. I know. Think of the ones that he's done. He's had coffee. He does a lot of one-on-one coffees. He really does try to get to know people, whether that's with the networking that he does with the chamber, but also he helps to coordinate Leadership LO. And with that, he really invites those people to come and meet him and get to know him. So he does a lot of one-on-one coffees. He's done some videos helping people who don't know how to network to learn how to network. And I haven't seen those. I kind of want it. I think they'd be really great. But that's really important because we have to spread how to do this and how to do it where it's not a transaction. It's about long-lasting relationships, as Matt said, and definitely Christopher lives it. Christopher's also on the Art Council. He does Leadership LO. His business has been here for 35 years. He and his wife, Christine, have run their business for 35 years here in Lake Oswego. Christopher and Christine both won the Chamber Champions Award, and they also are just amazing people. Christopher has a wonderful way of spotlighting folks. When I said that he does the facilitation for these events, he actually helps us see who that business leader is, the manager that or owner or whoever it is that we're at and we're visiting. He helps us see what's so special about them and helps us know why we should go back and we should purchase whatever it is, whether it's products, services, what have you. And so you just have a gift. You're like magic. And I know you're dying here. So we're going to get Christopher up because he is hosting tonight and he's also getting this award. So we're just sit down. And I think. Yeah, take my stuff and go home.
Thank you, Heather.
Yeah.
Well, that is a very nice thing. It is a very nice thing indeed to be recognized by other local business owners. And a big thank you to each and every one of you for your consideration. I appreciate that very much. If you would all be kind enough to indulge me for just a moment, I would like to ask my wife to join me up here.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. This is my wife, Christine Boyer. Last month, we celebrated 34 years together. So, do you know what that means? Well, yes, it means I'm an incredibly lucky guy. Yes, that's true. It also means that we're in our 35th year together now. And as anybody who has been happily married for any length of time knows, there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes, and everything is a joint effort. Christine and I play together, Christine and I work together, and Christine and I volunteer our time together. So anything that people may have credited me with accomplishing, I have accomplished because of my wife. So, congratulations, sweetheart.
Yeah, but
Now, on to that Chamber of Commerce's Friday morning networking. If you have not been yet and you are a part of this Lake Oswego community, you owe it to yourself to go. As Heather mentioned, every single week we have 50 to 70 different members of our community meeting together to support a local business. And it's just one of the many things our local Chamber of Commerce does. Things like tonight's award dinner. So thank you to this year's Chamber President, Heather Graves Ramsey, Coach Extraordinaire, for our wonderful opening tonight and for all that she's done for our Chamber and our community this year. Pretty fantastic to look around the room, and I think Heather's opening really underlined the fact that our community is our community because everybody in the community is giving back to that community. And I think she really underlined that in a way that you just can't miss. So thank you for that, Heather. On behalf of the Chamber, we're bringing back a past award, Rookie of the Year, recognizing a new business and how quickly they've become a part of our community. Past Rookie of the Year recipients have included Lynn Brokaw. Absolutely. Brian Garretts. Tisha Simons. Just to name a few. They're all here tonight, and they've all gone on to continue to do great things for our community. This year, we recognize Bobby and Tanny Chanyapakorn, owners of Adesaya Thai on McVeigh. Yes, right?
please.
They jumped right into the Chamber and our community at large with an initial ribbon cutting where they introduced members to many of their delicious lunch items. If you haven't been, you should definitely go. They've gone on to work closely with parents at Lake Ridge High and other schools to have local fundraising nights. And they've started working with their business neighbors on a program to promote and connect with fellow businesses along McVeigh. Please join me in welcoming Bobby and Tanny Chanyapakorn to the podium as our Rookie of the Year.
Wait, one more. No. Well, thank you for the award. To my honors, I really love to be in this community, and thank you, Chamber of Commerce, who introduced us to the city. And the most important person, just thank you, my wife. Steve. She always be with me every time. And another people, that's my team. I cannot do anything by myself. And today we are serving Thai food to a community. And I'm a owner, cooker, server. I'm everything. And also I'm an investor, but I do invest in our children because we have a young kid and we love our kids to be in this community as well. Also, this year we are invest on our business by improving our kitchen, like increasing the size to get more volume of people. And we are invest on people. We are applying people from Thailand who they cook from the 4-star hotels to our restaurant. This should mean we want to tell people, like, if you need any good Thai food, authentic Thai food, let me know. And we can accept the large catering right now. So welcome. Let me know. And we love to be here. If anyone need help to get fundraising, donation, we are here too. We are a small part, but the small part can generate to a big part. Yeah. And thank you, Adunta.
Congratulations to Bobby and Tanny. Our Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce has a long history of chamber champions. Our chamber champion recipient this year joins past chamber supporters because of her unending advocacy for the chamber, bringing guests to networking, serving on both the ambassador and the membership committee, and helping the chamber launch a program that welcomes newly licensed businesses to the city of Lake Oswego. They do that with a monthly meeting that in 2023 was held more than 8 times at the downtown Lake Oswego event space for Director's Mortgage. You'll recognize her as she comes to the podium. Please join me in welcoming Dawn Irwin to the podium for this year's Chamber Champion Award.
This is such an honor. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the change. I appreciate your being a part of the team and allowing me to attend these amazing meetings and events. And I am just honored and greatly appreciate it.
Dawn, does everybody here know what the word welcome means? It means literally that you have come to it well, that you are deserving of that. So thank you, Dawn, for your continually enthusiastic support. And one more time, because that was awesome. As Heather was kind enough to point out, the Chamber also runs on sponsorships. And sponsorships are things that fund our chamber beyond just tonight's event, but also other events. So tonight's gold sponsor is Buckley Law. They're a longtime visionary member and a direct chamber supporter, with Amber White from their office serving on this year's board of directors. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Jay Taylor, president and shareholder, here for a message from our event sponsor.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see this big turnout. What a wonderful group of people we have here today. I just want to tell you a little bit. First of all, Buckley Law is very excited to be a gold sponsor this year. We've been involved with the LO Chamber for certainly as long as I can remember. The law firm has been actually a resident of Buckley Law, practicing law here for 35 years. Never left, never gonna leave. This is the place we want to be, and you're a big part of the reason. We have a wonderful community here. I'm also excited because one of our founding members, Rob the Chevalier, is going to be honored tonight. Rob's been here even longer than I have, believe it or not. We have a number of attorneys at Buckley Law and key operational people here tonight. They have been involved in our community. I'll give you a quick rundown. I know you're going to recognize a lot of these organizations. Our people right now are currently members and active and involved in all these different organizations. The Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce, Arts Council of Lake Oswego, Hunger Fighters, Cruiseway Economic Forum, Cruiseway Rotary Foundation and Service Club, Lake Oswego Rotary, Lakewood Center for the Arts, Chess for Success, Campfire Columbia, Civics Learning Project, Getland Corner Foundation, one of my favorites, Lawyers Against Hunger, Lawyers for Literacy, Legal Aid, Mount Hood Kiwanis Club, Oregon Food Bank, Oregon International Air Show, which just had, I don't know if you heard those jets flying over, but one of my partners has been very active in that for as long as I can remember. The Oregon Women Lawyers, there are a lot of us, Wills for Heroes, and many different schools and local churches. So we are committed to our community, just like every one of you. And I look around here and I see a whole room full of people who are committed and determined to continue to make this a wonderful place to live and work. So thank you all.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you to Buckley Law for your long-standing support of our community. Speaking of our beautiful community, how many of you love our public art program? Just a quick raise of the hands, right? Like, absolutely fantastic. Please join me in welcoming Larry Kitchen to the podium to present the Arts Council of Lake Oswego's Fortuna Award.
Good evening. Throughout the nearly 25 years, the Arts Council of Lake Oswego has made enormous strides thanks to creative thinkers and civic leaders, dedicated community partners, and engaged business owners who value the arts as a key attribute to livability and economic prosperity. We are fortunate to have many wonderful volunteers in the community who provide support for our art space gallery, our educational programs and events, and the Gallery Without Walls public art program. Thank you. Today we are here to bestow the Fortuna Award, which goes to an individual or group who believes in and provides unparalleled support for the arts in our community, and is named for the Fortuna sculpture, which anchors the southern end of First Street at the roundabout at Millennium Park Plaza. Fortuna is part of a suite of 10 sculptures throughout Millennium Park Plaza by artist Simon Tobrowski and illustrates a unique take on the story of Icarus. I encourage you to check it out. These sculptures were some of the very foundational works in the City of Lake Oswego public art program and helped pave the way for the Arts Council of Lake Oswego to become a nonprofit, which happened in 1999. Today, I am happy to give the Arts Council's Fortuna Award to an incredible individual who's not only an arts community advocate, art enthusiast, and dedicated committee member, but also a tireless volunteer who serves both the Arts Council and the city. Our Fortuna Award winner is Nan Robertson. Nan is what you would call a quintessential example of volunteerism, civic engagement, and someone who gives back to her community. She is unflagging in her support of the Public Art Program as co-chair of the Public Art Committee, member of selection committees, including the city's new Pool and Recreation Center, Gallery Without Walls supporter, including artists up in her home, filling holes in the concrete, and advocates for depth and breadth in our public art collection. She hosts events, helps with our amazing art mart, gathers auction items, and serves on the board. She also finds time to support women in sciences and hosts international students, giving them a place not only with her family in Lake Oswego, but the world. This all sounds very serious, but it is, but she also brings humor to volunteering and has lots of fun, and we are lucky to share in that with her. Without someone like Nan, very simply, the Arts Council would not be here. Because of all of this, it's my honor to present Nan Robertson with the 2024 Fortuna Award.
Thanks, Dave. This is really exciting for me. Thank you. I don't know how many of you noticed, but I'm 5'2", and I don't usually get chosen for teams, but I wanted to reinforce for you that public art is a team sport. And I'm so excited to be here and to thank many people who've really been supporters of my involvement. I want to give special thanks to Nicole Nathan, who couldn't be here this evening, and her amazing staff who have been so supportive. I also wish to thank my late husband, who was a lover of art and helped me appreciate art at an early age. I'm a pharmacist, so I was using the other side of my brain at the time, and he really has been was an amazing art lover. I want to thank my special friend Tammy, who came to support me this evening, and my artist friends. And I want to particularly note them because it really takes a lot of courage to have creativity and to have your entire world be wrapped around the creative spirit. And I want to acknowledge every one of them. It's a tough life, and I really appreciate what they do for our world. I think this is an important opportunity to say that art connects us. It is the connection. It is why I serve this community, and it's what brings me a great deal of love. So I want to thank you all for the wonderful recognition. Please go out and enjoy our art. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry, and congratulations, Nan. I first met Nan relatively recently on the procurement committee for the Arts Council, and I'll just tell you, Nan herself is a work of art. So, there you go. Now, if you will please join me in welcoming Catherine Seiner to the podium to present the C. Herald Campbell Heritage Champion Award.
Hello, everyone. I am so honored to present the Harold Campbell Award for a Heritage Champion. The individual that we are awarding this to, the way that he tells it, he came to the Heritage House over 9 years ago. He retired, and his wife told him he had to find something to do, and he stumbled into the Oswego Heritage House and never left. He completely transformed the organization. He took our collections, which at the time were just kind of piled in the basement in boxes, and brought them up to National Museum standards, which is a very high accomplishment for anyone, but especially for a volunteer who was donating his time to the museum. All of that happened, and in the past year alone, though, he has accomplished so much more. He worked with the public library to do the same thing to their historical collection, which is one of the largest in the city. He also worked to lead the charge on a restoration project for an 1893 painting, which has deep ties to Lake Oswego history, and it is beautiful and stunning, and you should come view it. And then he also, you might notice that we have our board president, Jeff, here, is modeling this beautiful wooden peg. It might not look like much, but our wonderful archivist helped facilitate bringing it to the Heritage House. This peg dates back to the 1860s, 1870s, so very, very early Oswego, when there wasn't a whole lot of infrastructure in town. And so the community would meet under this peg tree, they called it, which is still around. They would put this wooden peg in it. They would hang a lantern, and that was the first city hall meetings. Those were the first school classrooms. That was the first chamber of commerce, you could say. And so now this is on permanent display in our museum, in large part thanks to the hard work of our wonderful archivist. And on top of all of that, he also takes the trash out every Thursday. Yes, incredible. And so please join me in welcoming our archivist, Mark Brown. Yes. Come over here. Come over here, and then we're going to take like your little bit.
Start off to put this wicked. Yeah. What?
Well, I have 59,999 other objects to share with you at the Heritage House. Please do not show up all at once. It takes a while to go through that. And after we finish that, I've got 55,000 items at the public library. So come visit us if you're interested at all in Oswego and its history, this gorgeous town we live in. We keep the memories, we keep the documents, and we do research that no one else is doing. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Catherine, and congratulations, Mark. Now, if you will join me in welcoming me, let's try that again. Now, if you'll join me in welcoming to the podium the man who needs no introduction, Mr. Andrew Edwards, here to present the K. Vega Lakewood Center for the Performing Arts Award.
Well, since I don't need an introduction, I'm Andrew Edwards. I'm pleased to be the Executive Director at Lakewood Center for the Arts. This is our 71st year for the theater in Lake Oswego. I'm here today to make a presentation of the K. Vega Arts Champion Award. And I was looking at our notes, and this is the 10th year that we are presenting this award. Now, the K. Vega Arts Champion Award from Lakewood is made to individuals and or organizations who inspire and nurture a love of theater and the arts. It recognizes the service a person, persons, or an organization does to promote and or fund and or work with the arts. Tonight's award recipient, Jeannie Denton, his amazing dedication to the arts has been and continues to be a reason she is a significant leader in the arts and culture of our city and of our region. As one of our board members recently said, this lady goes out of her way to welcome you and encourages you to support art and the many artists in our community. She amazes us with her tireless energy, positive focus, and grace. You've seen her, I'm certain, chairing fundraising events, working on committees, leading the Lakewood Associates on special events, coordinating sales and reruns every Tuesday, our volunteer resale shop, as well as undertaking the volunteer leadership of the annual Festival of the Arts, which has 450 volunteers that she nurtures. So I'm certain you're asking yourself, who is this woman? Well, she's an analyst. She's a fundraiser. She's a tireless promoter of Lakewood shows, art programs, classes, and special events. She and her many family members that are here tonight are significant sponsors of Lakewood's outreach projects, scholarships, special events, and stipends for artists. With her husband, Mike, she has provided countless meals, parties, receptions for artists, staff, volunteers, and committees. With Mike, they have donated not only dollars, but their talent and countless hours to achieve our mission, which is to inspire and nurture a love of theater and the arts. She is, personally to me, an inspiration to others in how to love, serve, and enhance our community. In gratitude from Lakewood, its board, volunteers, staff, and especially the artists, we present here tonight the Arts Champion Award to Jeannie Denton.
Opportunity to speak.
Okay, so he made me cry. So I could, as you probably know from what Andrew said about me, I could talk about the arts for hours and hours, and the importance of art in our community, but Liz gave me 2 minutes, so I'll spare you that. But I would just like to thank the Chamber and Lakewood for this honor. I would like to also acknowledge someone who all my life has been very special to me, who later in life became my mother-in-law, Dee Denton. She truly was my role model, my mentor, and my hero. And in the tradition of everybody else, I would also like to thank my husband of 35 years. Truly, the bigger half of this award belongs to you.
Yeah.
Andrew, she actually gets the award. She gets the award. She gets the award. Thank you, Andrew, and congratulations, Gene. Now, that was funny. Thank you. We honestly did not prearrange that. Okay. If you would please all join me in welcoming back to the podium Chamber President Heather Graves Ramsey to present the Business of the Year and the Century Award.
Okay. You didn't think I'd have to come back. Oh my gosh. Century Award is coming up here first. Century. So we gave out last year the 100-year to Pamphlet Media was our one last year, and this year it's the Oswego Lake Country Club. Now the Country Club, I just learned, well, yes, it was founded in 1924, but if you think about it, it was in the Roaring 20s, and then all of a sudden they hit some pretty bad stuff. They hit the Depression, they hit World War II, and they really had to figure out how they were going to remain one of the most amazing clubs around. And so their footprint has stayed here for 100 years. I know. The clubhouse is a historical site. They've kept it the same. So that beautiful entrance that you see there, that is just amazing. And that's part of our history and we love it. Over the last few years, they have done some renovations. The golf course and then the facilities. Murphy's is going to be opening in the next couple of weeks. but then also a kitchen remodel. Can you believe that they did not have a full-on kitchen remodel? They had little remodels, but not a full-on kitchen remodel since 1924. I know. They now have done, down to the bones, total remodel, and they're really excited because part of what the club wants to do is be a community club, to continue to be a community club, and to have people, neighbors, being able to come, get together, be out on the course, but also be able to have events for organizations, whether that's businesses or nonprofits. I know they do a great job for the Rotary every holiday season, so they're going to be able to do that even better with their new kitchen. And then they also do a lot with the schools. They allow that they have the golf teams that come on, and they are able to sponsor that as well. So this club really just brings together community, and it's been a huge part of us for 100 years. Tonight, Phil and Sally Robinson are going to be coming to accept this award, and I think they're over here. Phil is past president on the board. He's also done a ton when it comes to the historical part of this whole centennial celebration, and Sally's been the president of the women's board, and just both of them are members of the club, but they're also just awesome community members here in Lake Oswego. So there's some thought.
Great.
I'm supposed to wrap. And then we're going to have to scoot over this way, Carl, for the photo. Okay. I know, the photo op. Mike's line up. Nice. You know that.
Thank you so much, Chamber. Unlike all these other folks that have been here and earned this award, all I get to do is be the honoree because I happen to be a member at this time. I was president, and so was Sally at our respective boards. But the real heroes are the heroes that went through the times that were mentioned earlier in the Depression age and the World War II, because the club went through some really challenging times. The club, when it started out, had a golf course designed by Chandler Egan, who I grew up in Ohio. I knew him when I was a kid. I knew of him. He was a famous golfer and turned into a very fine golf course architect. We had an architect for the clubhouse who was an MIT graduate, which I happened to be too. So I was stunned to find that out and just preparing for saying something to you. And he also designed the U.S. courthouse downtown and the wonderful hotel in Hood River and many, many other things. So we have a great heritage, but boy, that heritage hit the wall in 1929 and then the 11 years of the Depression, et cetera. So during that time, the club had to shrink a little bit. So we had 155 acres of golf course that then became 110 acres, which it is today. And those of you who know the architecture of the city know Crest Drive and Ridgecrest Drive. Those were all in the middle of the golf course when it was founded. And so one hole went down one side of the crest that the Crest Drive sits on. The other one came around in a dogleg back. There was a hole on the other side of Iron Mountain that looked out over the lake and the mountain. It was just pretty unusual. But they had to pull back, and they did it in a very clever way, because I actually think the golf course is better now than it was then because it's more compact. You see each other when you go around it, etc. So we're very proud of what's been done. We have been investing for our next century. This has been a big couple of years. It's wrapping up about July, where we've done all those things that were mentioned earlier. I think if you come for an event or a meeting, I think you will find our ability to serve you to be better from the kitchen. I think you have another option to go up on the Murphys, Paul Murphy. That's in honor of Paul Murphy. I think you would find that well too. But I'd end by just simply saying we have a really interesting synergy with the city because from the very beginning of its becoming a residential city in the 20s, we and the city have kind of grown together. And even today, while we have a number of wonderful clubs in the area for golf and other things, we are one that prides itself on being a community club focused in this area. So about 80% of the people who are members of our club live and work in the Lake Oswego community. And we are proud of that, and we like to continue that tradition. And so this investment we're making is for our next century that we look forward to being around, and hopefully you'll all be with us, and we'll celebrate it in 200 years as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Dee Denton was mentioned earlier, and we're so grateful for her. We have the Dee Denton Business of the Year Award. And this award is given to somebody. There's a committee of past recipients as well as some board members that take applications. We put out there, people can bring in applications. By the way, if you have businesses that you love, just put those applications in all throughout the year because it's okay. But we take those applications. That committee then decides who that business is. And I am just so excited tonight to announce that Legal Locator Services with Tisha Simons. Yes, I know. Tisha is just amazing. She's been in business for 28 years. I know, an Oregon certified women-owned business. She's a national provider for, and has done for 25 years, pre-employment, tenant, drug screening, credit screening, nationwide, right? 25 years. And then, leadership is easy when things are good. But then we run into times like 2020, 21. And Tisha had to do some really hard work because she had to think about, how do I keep my staff that I've had for a long time? And with that, she had to diversify. She had to figure out another way to be bringing in income and keep that staff in there. And so she took on this Herculean effort, which anybody that has done anything with the government knows is a Herculean effort, because she wanted to become an identification processing center. So she did that through the Department of Homeland Security. Not only did she have to go through that process, but also she had to figure out her place. Her offices were on the second floor. She had 3 offices. She had to figure out, how can I negotiate with my landlord to get on the first floor, be able to take that over. Oh, and by the way, that all needs to be renovated. She did all of that during COVID, trying to keep her staff together. In September of 2021, she was able to launch this identification processing center. So this is where you can go to get your TS pre-check, your TWIC, hazmat, FSTP. Highly recommend the TS pre-check. It has been such a savior. It is so much easier, and it was such an easy process with her people. But with that, I didn't know this, but in the last 2.5 years, she has brought in 150,000 people to Lake Oswego. I'm going to say that again, 150,000 people. Right? This fabulously women-owned business who is doing her thing. And you know what she also does is she spreads that love. Because in 2017, she started this organization called Ladies Who Lunch. Any of you that are a Ladies Who Lunch person? Yeah, raise your hand. Okay. Ladies Who Lunch meets once a month. And what she does is she brings in different speakers, sometimes highlighting some of the ladies that lunch, but sometimes just bringing in speakers that we need to hear from. And it gives us information about what's going on. There's about 25 to 30 of us. The idea is to come together, to know each other as humans, to support each other so that we can all rise together. And it's just a really lovely atmosphere that she has created with that. They have a Facebook page that we're on, and we all get to, there's about 200 members. There's networking as well as sharing ideas and just helping to elevate each other. And that's what Tisha's about. Tisha also serves on the board. She's done 2 terms with us on the board, been on the membership committee. We have appreciated everything that she's done. In 2019, she got the Networker of the Year. So everybody voted for her as Networker of the Year in 2019. And tonight, we are so excited to give you, Tisha, you're going to have to come on up here. I know the Dee Denton Business of the Year Award is going to you. It's gorgeous. It's like you're going to tour of the year. We got to do that. And then I need to.
Yeah.
Wow, sun's right in your face.
I know, you got to watch that.
Hi there. Thank you to the MC to the chamber, and to the board of directors and everyone here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I moved to Lake Oswego in the summer of 1995, and I moved from California, working for a city entity there. And when I moved here, a lot of things happened, a lot of big things I'd never seen before moving from California. I came from Orange County. So someone drove through my backyard, wrecked my backyard within months. And then within months, in December 12th or something of 1995, we had this huge windstorm, kind of like the January thing we just went through. And I had a big tree go across the street, and my yard was wrecked again. And so we kept rebuilding it. And then as soon as we finished the fence and the fireplace and the fire pit, the flood came. I'm going, oh my gosh. So I really had really cute neighbors next door. And they came over and they checked on us all the time because they were worried about us. They're going, Orange County people here? Really? So anyway, they just said, have you noticed that since you have moved here, there have been nothing but disasters? Perhaps you would like to go back home, you know? So I didn't take that cue. I actually started legal locator service in 1996 to kind of, it was a side hustle to kind of add additional income. I still owned a house in California that I was trying to sell at the same time. So that's how I started. It was more like a people locating business. I love locating people. It's really close to my heart, bringing people together. So I'm going to share a special story with everyone. The sun is really like right in my face. So I had a woman call me, 78 years old, and she was looking for her sister. She said, we had a falling out about 20 years ago when our mom died, and I want to talk to my sister before I leave this world. So this was around Christmas time. So she calls me, and I find her sister, and I get them together, and she's really happy. And she just said, okay, I want to send you a check. Where do I send it? And I said, well, it's Christmas time. Merry Christmas. This is on me. I said, enjoy your sister. And so she said, but I can hear you have children in the background. And so I was working from home then. That's where we all start. And she said, I would like to send a check so you can buy presents, more presents for your children from us. And so it was really sweet. Those kind of things are the best kind of cases that you can possibly have, is trying to bring families together. Now, through the years, we have changed and we've evolved. And so now legal locator service, like Heather said, it's employment screening, tenant screening, drug testing, and we do TSA pre-check on the other side. We still have people locator service, but it's upstairs. But I didn't get here by myself. I have really a great team. They're extraordinary. If you guys would stand up, please, I'd like to introduce them real quick. Come on, you can do this. I have Connie Grant. She's been with me forever. So when I first moved here, I worked for the Portland Development Commission, and she was my boss. So anyway, she retired, and she came and she started working for me part-time, and she is our contracts manager. And then we have Sarah. Sarah's been with me for a long time. She's our accounts manager. She has patience, more patience than anybody I've ever seen. And she pays attention to detail. She's awesome to have. And I have Tracy over there. She's the manager at TSA, and she trains everybody to be their best, and she's the best. And Victoria, she's over there. She works on the background check side and TSA. Everybody's pretty much working on both sides, and she's really great. She's very professional, and she learns really quick. And then we have Ty. Ty lives down the street, for God's sakes. He walks to work. He's 4 houses down, and he just walks to work, and everybody knows him in the neighborhood. He's a local Lake Oswego fellow, and his kids have been brought up here in Lake Oswego, gone to school here, and he's great. He shakes everybody's hand on the TSA side, welcomes them. He has the greatest stories. He makes us laugh every day. Then we have Randy. Randy is awesome. He's our do-all guy. He can do anything. He's great with all the people on TSA, and when we have something that needs to be fixed, Randy's our guy. And if we need something that needs to be built, Randy's our guy. So I'd like to say thank you to my team. I wouldn't be here without you. We did it. We did this together. Thank you so much for everything. I'd also like to thank Bryce and Bibi Buchanan. Can you please stand? They are the owners of the building that I've been in for years. So they are awesome. I had 3 offices upstairs for a very long time, and I called Bibi and I said, hey, I have this new business plan. I'd like to meet with you and go over this business plan.
So she came upstairs and we talked about it. And I said, I want TSA on this side and I want to do legal locator service on this side, but I want to move downstairs. I want to expand. And Bryce and BB both gave me the opportunity to do that. And they believed in me. And I really, really appreciate that. And they allowed us to spread our wings. And I want to thank you all for everything that you've done. It's been wonderful. Thank you very much for this award. We're very, very grateful. And thank you. I love this community. Thank you to our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather, and congratulations to Tisha and the Oswego Lake Country Club. We have the advantage of living in a fantastic community. And what that really means is that people in our community demonstrate leadership on a regular basis. And on occasion, someone demonstrates such exceptional leadership that the Chamber sees fit to give out a Sextant Award. The Chamber's Award for Leadership is so named for the role that the sextant plays in celestial navigation, allowing its users to find their way and get where they want to go. Helping people find their way and get where they want to go seems a fitting metaphor for leadership, and leadership has long been important to the Chamber. So much so, the Chamber began its Leadership Lake Oswego program in 1986 and added a second leadership program focused on business development this year under the guidance of Chamber President Heather Ramsey. You can do it. You can do it. Remember when Nan said that it takes courage to be creative and to put it all out there? It's also a form of creativity to congratulate people and clap. So if you are feeling it, you go right ahead and do it. I encourage you to share that part, right? So Leadership Lake Oswego, if you can do the math, is now in its 38th year of continuous operation. Dr. Bill Korash was instrumental in the beginning of the Leadership Lake Oswego program, facilitating that program since the beginning and throughout many years of the program. Dr. Korash was also the one that the Chamber reached out to in 2019 to revamp the curriculum, where he has both championed and personally embodied the leadership paradox that if you want to be a successful leader, you have to create the conditions for the success of other people. Everyone here is probably aware of Dr. Korash's 27-year tenure as superintendent of our schools. Everybody aware of that? Anybody not aware? Yes, right? We're all aware of that. You may also be aware of his 27-year-long involvement on the Chamber Board, where he served twice as Chamber President. Yes? Go ahead. Right? There you go, Heather. You do it. Be brave. And if you know that, you can probably guess that he has been recognized for his leadership countless times along the way. From being honored as one of the top 4 superintendents in the nation, to being the recipient of many of this evening's awards, including the Bob Bigelow Lifetime Achievement Award with his wife, Ricky. Bill is no stranger to having his leadership recognized. However, tonight I would like to point to something of a more personal nature. The main secret to his success that has become abundantly clear to me as a result of working with Dr. Korash over these last years is that there's a genuine and undeniable reason his leadership success comes so naturally. Those of you that know him might consider it more of an open secret. He cares. He absolutely, genuinely cares. And he cares so passionately about creating the conditions for other people's success that he is driven to do all of the things that create that success. From his constantly reworking the curriculum with a fresh eye, to making himself available to participants, to constantly extolling the virtues of leadership wherever he goes, Dr. Korash has demonstrated himself to be someone I admire personally, and I hope that I can spend the rest of my life being as passionately dedicated as he has already demonstrated for so many years. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. His longtime partner in facilitating Leadership Lake Oswego for many years, Dr. Marcy Nemhauser, was unable to be here this evening, but she wants me to share the following with all of you and with Bill. So, imagine this in Marcy's voice if you can. Bill? Where are you? Bill? There you are. Bill. You have been a shining star in my orbit, guiding me to take risks, reach higher, learn more, embrace my skills. I will be forever grateful to you for seeing something in me that I didn't see and encouraging me to find it, nurture it, and finally to let it and me bloom. You are one of the few leaders who has the courage to be vulnerable and challenge yourself to grow. You have led by your example, and I am so lucky to have walked part of your journey with you. She wishes she could be here, but she wanted me to make sure that you got that loud and clear. In the very clear spirit, you can clap. Okay. Oh, yeah. In the very clear spirit of creating the conditions for the success of others, I think it is fitting that this year the Chamber is not only recognizing Dr. Bill Korash for his outstanding leadership, but the Chamber is also changing the name of its Leadership Award from the Sextant Award to the Dr. Bill Korash Leadership Award. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Korash.
Wow, Christopher. It has been amazing to work with you with the leadership program in the last years. We actually had 2 alpha males being able to work together. I want to thank you very much for that amazing message. And I want to start by saying to you that I'm going to thank you and thank you and thank you, and then I'm going to leave you with a message that I think about every day as I start my day. So you got to have some thank yous first. And so being on the Chamber Board for 27 years, I believe I understand, and living in this community, how much the Chamber actually means to this community. And so let me just pose 2 questions to you. Who else in this community offers a personal growth, year-long leadership development curriculum? Who else does that? Nobody. Who else celebrates leadership and people who contribute to the well-being of our community in an arena that not just honors the people that serve their cause, but that serve other causes as in our community? The list goes on and on today. Who else does that? Nobody. Think about the Chamber and leadership, and because I think the Chamber really grasps, it takes leadership and volunteers to make things happen in our community, and we depend on them so much. I'm also very, very grateful for all the people who have contributed so much as I have worked with them in multiple roles in this community to even have this consideration of this kind of award that I could be honored with. So many people, make a difference in our community and stand up when the challenges come. And so a leader can light the way. A leader can light the way. But it takes contributions, effort, expertise, and commitment from many people to turn promise into possibility and possibility into reality. And that's what leadership is very much about.
I also want to thank my wife, Dr. Ricky Koritz. I do know her name. She's an amazing woman, and we have been together, being married for almost 40 years, and every day, I swear, she makes my life more complete as we live together. So I want to say thank you, and I want to leave you with something that is one of my favorite leadership insights. And I think about this typically in the morning and try to hold myself accountable. The best measure of one's leadership is not just what other people think about you as a leader, but what people think about themselves because of your leadership. Think about it. I want to thank you again for recognizing my efforts to continue to help others rise. I am so honored.
Wow. Congratulations, Bill. Very well deserved. You also have come to that very well. Now it is time to call another local luminary to the stage to present our final award of the evening. Please join me in welcoming Paul Graham to the podium to present the Bob Bigelow Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you, Christopher. These are becoming more and more difficult to follow, these acts at the microphone. I will do my best. And rather than start with a joke about my name being misspelled in tonight's program, I would like to start with a couple of fun facts. When my parents opened Graham's Book and Stationery in Lake Oswego in 1957, they joined this Chamber of Commerce. My wife Terry and I bought the business from them in 1980, continuing our membership in the Chamber of Commerce. And our stationery store has retired, but we are still members of the Chamber of Commerce, which surprisingly adds up to 67 years. Who knew? Many of you have asked me from time to time when I was chamber president. And the answer is 1986, which is a date we just heard about. Interesting. As a result, we have had a long-working relationship with both Bob Bigelow and tonight's honoree, Rob Le Chevalier. And I'm here to answer 4 questions. The first question is, who was Bob Bigelow, and why is it the Lifetime Achievement Award? If you lived in Lake Oswego prior to August 2000, you would have likely met Bob. He was a visionary publisher at the time of the ever-popular Lake Oswego Review. And during his tenure here, Bob Bigelow raised the bar. And as a result, all of us here tonight who volunteer, work on community projects, join committees, and collaborate for success in Lake Oswego work a little harder. Exuberant Bob, bubbling with ideas, urged all sorts of people to join in the excitement of making things happen that hadn't happened before. Volunteering wasn't a task, it was fun. Committees weren't boring, they were fanning the flames of good things to come. New to town, he'd get to know you in no time and get you signed up. He was not a been there, done that guy. He was a been there, still there guy. At Bob's untimely death in 2000, he was only 42. However, he had a tremendous impact and left a tangible legacy of how much people can accomplish together. It only seemed right that in 2001, this Lifetime Achievement Award was established in Bob Bigelow's name. The award seeks to recognize the amazing people in our community who energize others and who, over time, accomplish a wide array of improvements benefiting all of Lake Oswego. The second question is, so who has received the Bob Bigelow Lifetime Achievement Award? For a time, recipients were notified, but the rest of the community had to wait for this Chamber Awards presentation evening before they knew. The suspense was always palpable and reactions positive. Now, most of you already know the name of this year's recipient, yet may not actually know him. One way to capture a sense of what it takes to receive the Bob Bigelow Award is to remind ourselves of what previous recipients valued. They loved Lake Oswego. They knew change as a part of a thriving community and wanted to make that change positive. Just 15 more pages. And we'll get there. They enjoyed the camaraderie and community bonding that occurred when projects were completed. They knew consensus and patience usually yielded the best results. About half of the previous award winners can't join us, but several of those recipients can join us tonight and are here. And when I say your name, please stay standing, and please hold your applause to the end for Doctors Bill and Ricky Korach. I'm watching them stand right now in case you can't see. They are standing and no one is applauding. That's perfect. Terry and Paul Graham. Malcolm and Linda Mathis. Mike Buck. Peter and Cindy Glazer. Linda and Bob Brown. Mary Puskas. Andrew Edwards. Thank you all for your contributions to Lake Oswego. So that brings us to the third question. Why is Rob LeChevalier this year's award recipient? I doubt Rob had any inkling when he graduated from Lake Oswego High School in 1971 that he would be here tonight receiving this award 53 years later. Rob has been a longtime community member and community builder as a resident and co-founder of his firm, Buckley Law. Over 20 years ago, he also co-founded the twice-a-year Cruiseway Economic Forum, still alive and well in Lake Oswego today. Rob is a steward of community institutions which hold our values and yet carry us forward to grow and benefit our community. Rob followed Bob Bigelow as president of the Chamber of Commerce and later as president of the Lake Oswego Rotary Club, as well as longtime board member of Our Lady of the Lake and the Oswego Heritage Council. Rob is a motivator aimed at projects that benefit others, such as co-founding the Portland Business Forum that has donated over $100,000 to scholarships for graduating seniors. And he's carried that expertise to Lake Oswego by being instrumental in growing the Rotary Sassy
Excellence in Education Scholarship Program. And of course, these are just a few examples of Rob's decades-long, widespread, diverse community involvement, which I could have gone into more had I been earlier on the agenda, but I won't do that. But that brings us to the fourth and final question. What is Rob really like? That's where most of the pages are. But over the past 45 years, his wife, Denise, has helped Rob with the balance of their 5 children, myriad grandchildren, family, and friends. They have become an enviable team. Those who know him best describe Rob with phrases like a thoughtful listener, role model of honesty and compassion, consensus builder, value-based leadership and vision, curious and creative, results-driven. Rob, this is not an epitaph. It is recognition and a thank you for the large amount of time and treasure that you provided our community. It's also a public admonishment for you to continue what you and Denise do so well. Rob LeChevalier, congratulations on receiving the 2024 Bob Bigelow Lifetime Achievement Award.
I'd like to begin by thanking the Chamber of Commerce and the Bigelow Selection Committee. When I heard I was being nominated, I was surprised and humbled. The reward is not just a reflection of my efforts, but also the support and encouragement that I received from family, friends, and colleagues. I especially want to thank my spouse, Denise. Please stand up. 3 of my children that are here tonight, Gabe and Grace and Ann, and my law firm partners, if you could all stand up. Thank you. This is the 40th anniversary of the formation of our law corporation, which today is known as Buckley Law. When we moved our law offices from Portland out to Cruiseway in 1989, my partner, Bill Buckley, encouraged me to get involved in the chamber. I was 36 years old and had 5 young children, and with demands of my law practice, I didn't see how I had the time. Dee Denton, who was chamber executive director for over 30 years, had that disarming way of asking you to do one thing, right? In this case, doing a presentation for chamber members on a business topic. Pretty soon, I was on a committee with Karen Jacobson. I saw her here, Karen, organizing speakers for monthly programs at the country club. Then we organized brown bag lunches for employees on Cruise Way. We hung flower baskets for the Village Flower Basket program. Then Dee asked me to be on the Government Affairs Committee, which I'm still on, then the Chamber Boards, then the Executive Committee, and finally to be in line to be president. Bob Bigelow was president the year before me, so it was a hard act to follow. After 15 years on the board with all those 7 a.m. meetings, we instituted term limits, which I voted for. And then I recruited Doug Cushing to take my place. Doug here? Doug was here earlier. There's Doug. My friend Charlie Oldham was president of the Lake Oswego Rotary Club in 2001. He invited me to attend Rotary and said, well, you had to eat lunch anyway. I was now 48 years old. And that started on a journey with Youth Services Committee, distributing dictionaries to 3rd graders with Linda Brown, who's right here. Linda, stand up. Running the four-way ethics test contest for junior high students, serving on the Rotary Board, getting in line to be an officer, and finally president in 2016, 2017. After that busy year, I found myself giving out community grants on the allocation committee with Malcolm Mathis, who's here tonight, working on the lobster feed committee, interviewing high school kids for Rotary scholarships, etc. My point is that serving our community often starts out small, saying yes to helping out with one thing, and that leads to other involvements. But what have I learned from over the last 35 years? There are a lot of rewards that come from giving back to our community, both in business and in the many friendships that have developed over the years. Our law firm prospered and grew from 4 attorneys and 3 staff to 25 lawyers and almost 60 employees. Other attorneys in the firm joined boards and nonprofits in the community, which you heard Jay talk about earlier this evening. Our family was also positively impacted. My children helped hang flower baskets, set up for the Rotary lobster feed. My oldest son, Gabe, who's here, worked for the chamber one summer while he was in college. They had jobs bagging groceries at Weiser's, working in the dining room, Grace at Oswego Country Club, lifeguarding at the Lake Grove Swim Park and the Mountain Park Pool, Peter, and shelving books at the public library, Michael. Denise became president of the Lake Grove Garden Club, worked as a public accountant for DeLapp, CPAs, and Our Lady of the Lake Church, and did bookkeeping for dentists Dr. Hannah and Dr. Hughes. You could say that working and giving back to the community became a family affair. Once again, thank you for this incredible honor. I'm committed to continuing my efforts to contribute positively to our community. Let's work together to keep Lake Oswego a wonderful place to live, to work, and to raise a family. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Paul, and congratulations, Rob. This has been one outstanding evening of community recognition. I think it's quite evident from everything that has transpired this evening, the big difference between a place where people live and an actual community. And the thing that makes that difference is that people spend their time giving back. If nobody here did any of these things, we wouldn't be sitting here today. We wouldn't be feeling this way. It would just be a place you laid your head down. But it is the contributions of all these people that make Lake Oswego such a wonderful place. And I'm very happy for the role that the Chamber gets to play in drawing attention to that. So I'd like to close by taking a moment to recognize and thank all of the volunteer staff that came together tonight to make this evening happen. I know I told you could clap, but in that moment, I kind of wanted you to wait for a second. So let me tell you, from our greeters at the door, how many people got greeted when they came out of that elevator, right? Our greeters at the door, our pourers, our kind providers of food and drink, the Lake Ridge High School Jazz Combo for our opening music, the staff of the Chamber, the board, our president, Heather Ramsey, and, of course, the heart of our Chamber, Liz Hartman. Hey. If you were to look at my notes, that's where everybody was supposed to applaud right there. That's a round of applause. Okay, now a round for our sponsors. So for our sponsors tonight, Umpqua Bank, Buckley Law, and Tom DeMore Law. Now clap. To Courtney Kennedy of Glow Gifts for planning a decor, to Brian Garrett's of Studio B Photography for our photos, and to Jason White's at Left Mind Media for our video tonight. Yeah. Now, here's where you all get in on the action. Finally, I want to thank all of you for being here to bear witness to those we were able to highlight this evening. I think it's no secret that all of our joys are better when shared amongst friends. And of course, I want to congratulate all of you who were highlighted this evening for your contributions to our community. We are all better off for your efforts. Now, please feel free to continue to enjoy the appetizers. For those of you with a sweet tooth, you'll be happy to know the cookies are now out. We'll be closing at 8:30 if it's not already after 8:30. So if you wish to continue your celebration beyond that, we have a number of local restaurants that would love to see you. And then until we have the good fortune to connect again, please have a wonderful evening.